sounds like my kind of burn. Welcome to The Good Ride, where I ride my mouse fakie all summer long. Like, subscribe, help our site thrive, you know, all that jazz that everybody asks. This is a review of the MC Snake Kink. You're seeing me here instead of Peter, Jimbo, and I talking on the snow because I can't find the damn video, and I'm pretty bummed about that. But I do remember just about everything from the MC Snake Kink when we wrote it. So here's the review. We wrote it with the bent metal transfer bindings and Adidas Tactical ADVs for all three. And we got some pretty decent conditions, kind of soft in some areas, kind of micro bumpy and soft. And then in other areas, actually some okay snow, and then some hard patches here and there. To give you a quick summary, it is an old school kind of camber kind of board going into a really long nose with a strange kink at the top, hence the MC Snake Kink. It's got lots of grip, lots of pop, it's slightly tapered, and just like a millimeter or so, and it just lives on that border between all mountain and free ride. It's fun to carve. It's great for people looking for kind of more directional hard snow riding, but it looks like it's going to be okay for camber and powder. We don't know though. Sizing wise, the MC Snake Kink definitely fits the 8 to 10 kind of footed rider. 25/6 waist. It only comes in a 159. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's one size for just those 8 to 10 footed riders. I wouldn't really go much past that unless you have a really reduced footprint and maybe 10.5 under. Now, in terms of the on-snow feel, we talked about the camber a little bit already, but it is full-on camber. It doesn't seem like there's any early rise. It just has this healthy bow of camber with an almost unnoticeable passive bend underfoot. What that does is, even though it's not a real, like it's kind of a medium-ish flex, it just feels really locked in and really technical and really old school. So if you're looking for something like that, this could be your fit. But if you're looking for something that skids turns easy and is a chill board, this isn't the one. It's not for beginners and intermediates, and it's more for advanced to expert riders who understand how to work full camber in all conditions. Now, in terms of the flex, I don't have the flex for you because I lost the damn video again. Shit. I don't think this has ever happened in my life before. But anyways, it has a very medium flex from tip to tail, but because of that full camber, it feels stiffer on snow than it would in the shop when you're flexing it. A shop flex could kind of trick you into thinking it's going to be a little more mellow than it is. There's a lot of energy with underfoot with this full bow of camber, and it really pops well. And you know, Mervin always does a great job making a really poppy board. Now, in terms of speed, you know, LibTech always has good base glide, nothing amazing, but nothing terrible either. And this base just had good glide to it. And it's great for those riders who are looking to kind of not wax all the time. And if you're one of those kind of riders, then this is going to be great because it doesn't have low lows, but it also doesn't have those high highs. But still, when waxed up, it's pretty good. I did feel a little chatter. That big nose does kind of like bounce a little bit. But I just like with LibTech boards, they're so poppy and they've got so much energy that they can actually chatter a little more than some boards, but they don't bring it up into your joints, into your feet, into your, you know, into your knees and ankles and maybe your hips, and really, you know, bother you. So it was a very manageable flex, and manageable chatter, and I was okay with it. It's just not for those who really want to bomb. It feels a little more turny than bomby, but it can point fine. Now, this felt to me like old school full magnet traction, and same with Peter and Jimbo. It really grips well. If you ride out east or in areas with hard snow, this is a good option because you can get that full camber, stable tracking kind of feel with an excessive amount of grip, and it does a pretty good job for hard to icy snow. When it comes to turn initiation and carving, this turns pretty quick. You're riding the short fat with this and the Gremlin. Those are both pretty wide boards. So this just felt super quick. I would say it isn't super quick. I'd say it's medium quick. Just dialing it back from my memory of like getting on this going, wow, this thing is so quick edge to edge and so narrow compared to those super ultra wide board. Like one's an ultra wide, like at like 27 centimeters wide, and the other's like in the mid 26s. So coming down to a 25.4, it just felt so narrow, but it turns quick, medium quick. And then when you lay it over and get into a carve, it's not quite a circle carver, but it's pretty competent at just about any kind of radius turn you want to make. It felt good, and I really had a good time. I remember Peter and Jimbo not really enjoying it as much as I did in terms of a carve, but I really love engaging that full magnet traction into that full camber and watching the thing spring through. Didn't blow my mind, but it sure was fun. Just, you know, I could see this working for a lot of riders, especially those that want to carve hard and want that spring in harder to icy snow. Now, powder didn't get any. So I'd be curious to see what that nose does that pops up like this and then comes down like that, and see if that planes a little bit better. It's a long nose. There's just a tiny bit of taper. It looks like there's some decent setback on board. So maybe this could be a good floater, but that full camber, it's gonna have to do a lot to make that full camber not come into play, because that's a lot of bend pointing down. And then, you know, it can ride switch okay. It's not going to be its strong point, but it's very doable. You could ride this in the pipe if you wanted to. There's a lot of nose, but underfoot, you don't feel like you're riding a 59. It feels a little bit smaller than that. I would have guessed like 56, 57 in terms of like effective edge on snow. So all in all, it's a pretty weird, pretty unique, pretty fun board. It's not going to be for everybody, but some people might really like all that camber, that weird ass nose, and all that edge hold for hard to icy conditions. So there you have it.